I said, for me, I even spoke to my mom. My mom is the most spiritual person I know. She was like, I spoke to her about, like, this was when I started to get into astrology. Asked her about my birth time. She was like, oh, you don't know your star. I'm telling him about astrology because I don't believe it. But he said something that made me definitely think it's real. He goes, how did the three wise men find Jesus? He said they looked at the stars. And I was like, bro, that means these stars mean something. When I first started looking at astrology, I felt like one of the baddies.
Like lighting incense and that could be like, it's like witchcraft, isn't it?
Life is more spiritual than it is religious. But yeah, man, I feel like it's about time. Sat down, as I said, there's off camera. It's been a minute since we've linked up.
It's been a while. You were saying it's been over a year now.
Childhood friends. Actually, we both grew up in UK.
You know what I was saying to my friends the other day, and I realize now, but you're one of the few people that I can say that I've known for like over 20 years.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Bro, we grew up. It's magic because in London, before I moved to Ireland, I think our families already knew each other from Ireland.
Yeah.
But in London, before I moved to Ireland, this brother used to live 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, about 5 minutes away from me. Then I moved to Ireland. This guy lives even closer.
That's mad, yeah. Same estate and everything.
Yeah. So in terms of like upbringings and life experiences, I feel like we've definitely had like some very similar life experiences.
And a lot of shared experiences, shared memories for sure.
Both of us growing up Muslim, Mubarak, Sadiq. But yeah, I feel like as I said, for me, I just wanted to, create a space where I could, basically speak my mind, and I feel there's no better person for me to do it or start this journey with than my brother here.
Love that.
But yeah, man, I feel like my brother Saint. I don't know if you want to tell the people what you do.
Yeah. So obviously, I'm Saint, filmmaker, photographer, art director, graphic designer, whatever you wanna, bunch of other things, event producer,
multifaceted.
Yeah, multidisciplinary essentially. But yeah, I'm based here in Manchester now, and as you can see, I'm getting the accent already. I'm one of them. Take it from wherever I go. I've got the Irish just there still, if people can hear it. But yeah, that's where I am now, man. That's
actually, because you've lived in various different places. You've lived in Ireland, London, obviously born in Nigeria. So I feel like having those different experiences, I don't know if there's anything that you would say from each particular place that has resonated with you. Obviously, Manny being the most recent. Obviously, now you've gotten into your creative art here. What about Manny resonates with you that, makes you, or that has made part of your story in a sense?
I think like Manny's been the most like pivotal part of my story, I would say, in everything that I've done. Because I think coming to Manchester was that I quote big step on like independent living and like being self-sustaining and being self-sufficient and sustainable. So that was like the first step, but also it was the first step in the direction of being a creative, because I actually came up here for what I would consider like my first real kind of like job in the creative industry. Funny enough, it was working here at the radio station, but that was where I really got to like actually be creative, start exploring all these different ideas, filming constantly, producing, ideating, just all of that, and like coming up with just all the ins and outs of like how to actually be a creative in a workspace and how to like get work out there. So yeah, it was a really big step in that. And then so after I left there, I just kind of stayed in Manny because I was like, I like the vibe of Manny compared to like London. And one of the big things that I like here, which is very similar to Ennis, funny enough, is this big sense of community.
Yeah. You don't get that in London.
I mean, London's too big for it, isn't it? So you might get in pockets, but even then, it's very not the same. So Manchester's got like that whole like, hey, we're from Manchester, we're Mancunians,
Mhm, mhm.
we're gonna represent for each other, and there's that support that I see here, which is very interesting, is very nice, and it's just also not as like exhausting as London. London's very full on. So yeah, and that again, the only other place I feel like I felt that kind of community vibe was like in Ireland in Ennis, when like you said, all of us lived in the same bloody
The whole
estate. We went to the
yeah.
same schools. We
I
went
remember
to the same.
there was one day like 12 of us went on bikes. We just went riding to
Yeah,
town, just do some mad
bro,
shit.
literally, because we were like, why not? You know?
But the reason why I even asked you that question is because you're one of the people who, not gonna lie, for the past few years, I've been working in corporate, so still currently in corporate, but I've been seeing a couple of like the people closest to me that have, dived into the creative, into their creative ventures, and you being one of them,
Mm.
I can't lie, you inspire me heavily. So I feel
No, I
like that's
appreciate
why
that, man.
it's cool that we're actually coming here and we're doing this together. But me, I've always wanted to do like podcast speaking. I'm someone who loves to yap. Sometimes my mouth moves faster than my brain, but
Bruh,
it is
I
what it
hear
is.
it. I
Um,
hear it.
but yeah, I've actually had like a mixer and mics for about 3 4 years. Just never got down to use it. But I feel like now is a good time, especially for me with a lot of life events that I've gone through and like certain perspectives that I've kind of picked up over time. One of them being, as I said, both of us we grew up as Muslims. Religion is something that, for me, has shaped the person who I am greatly. But that being said, the more and more kind of understanding I develop and understanding that I develop, I realize that it's good and bad. It's good for me in terms of the way it shapes my morals. Like,
Mm.
I feel like my whole moral standpoint was kind of built based on religion, the sense of community, don't do wrong unto others, that and so forth. But then I feel like it got in the way of me kind of being myself, to where I started to second guess certain things and be like, oh no, that's wrong. I can't do that. And these are genuine innate natures that I have within me, like maybe
Mm.
to make music, or I might like women, you know what I'm saying, but shit like that. It made me kind of put myself in a box. So because of that, I'd had to do a lot of learning as to religion, where it came from, so on and so forth, and even personal experiences I had. Um, I might not have told you this. I actually have. You might know. You might know. I can have
Yeah,
yeah.
I know. Okay.
So basically, Erkan has gone to take his shahada. So it was when I first moved back to London about 2.5 years ago.
Mm.
So like these times I was, oh, maybe I wasn't even living. I might have still been living in Luton then times actually. But he's gone to take his shahada. Now we've gone to take the shahada, bro. We're all praying. This is gonna sound a bit wild to people, but me, I'm real. As I said, we're all praying now, and these were times where I was still kind of religious, like participating in fasting and trying to pray, but like in my spirit, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I feel like life is more than this.
Mm.
Reason being because when I look around, I see a lot of division when it comes to religion. I even had a personal experience in a relationship that I'll get onto. But anyways, my brother's gone to take his shahada. Taking his shahada now. We're praying. This was during Ramadan, about Ramadan 2024 or 2023. Now, bro, as we're bending down to sujud, bro, it's like something just comes over me, bro. And then this is when you're gonna. It's gonna sound mad, but I'm gonna. I felt like, what am I doing here? Be so real. The reason why I'm saying this is because for me, when I look at the world and I look at magic and I look at this Epstein and I look at sacrifices, voodoo, all this stuff, for me, I feel like everything is energy related.
No, 100%.
So when I was bending down, it felt like, and I was in the midst of so many different people doing the same thing, felt like I was bending down, giving my energy to something I didn't know what I was giving my energy to.
Mm.
And you know, it's
Uh,
it's so deep, yeah, because our parents, I was born a Muslim. It's something that I've known all my life. So to some people, me even questioning it sounds like, why are you questioning it? But as I said, for me, I even spoke to my mom. My mom is the most spiritual person I know. She was like, I spoke to her about, like, this was when I started to get into astrology. Asked her about my birth time. She was like, "Oh, you don't know your star." I was like, "Oh, you don't know your star." So yeah, we started looking at it, and then I was like, "Oh, what about religion? What do you?" She was like, "Yeah, Islam was only brought to us because of Arabs." But this is someone who prays so religiously, so. In my head,
there's awareness
I'm
there.
like, what's going on? How are you gonna say this was brought to us, but you're still heavily practicing? So all of this started to make me just question, like, what am I actually doing? Then I went on in 2024. Yeah, so that would have been 2023. In 2024, I went to Berlin with one of my friends, Stephen.
Mm.
This was when I first started looking at astrology. I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna lie. When I first started looking at astrology, I felt like one of the baddies. Oh, when girls used to come to me back in the day and tell me, "Oh, this star sign," I'd be like, "Ish, this baby,
Yeah.
there's something not right." Until I read my whole birth chart, then I was like, "Yo, like there's certain things you put in the exact birth time, the place of birth." Then you understand stuff is deeper. Life is deeper than meets the eye.
And I think there's like a what's it called, like a misconception. I'm gonna first of all pause for a sec. Can like Zoltan join in the conversation as
Yeah,
well?
yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
thinking like you might as well. Like we're
Yeah, I
gonna
can
be
see.
talking. Yeah. We're gonna be talking about a bunch of shit that we're all into. But like yeah, so fuck, I've lost my train of thought.
That's
Bring
calm.
it back. What were you
It's calm.
saying?
But my whole point is that when I went on that trip,
Star sign. Sorry.
yeah, when I
Bring it
went on
back.
that trip with Stephen, it was basically I had literally it's like a eureka moment. I'm like, yo, bro, my birth chart, this is crazy. It's telling me, bro, I was freaked out, and it's so funny. It came to me at a time in life where, like, I actually had the patience to listen to listen
And
because
that's what I was gonna say as
there was
well.
times before where it was brought to me, but I never had the patience. But when I sat down and listened, then I started doing more research. It's like stuff started to line up. Then I went on that trip, as I said, in 2024 with my boy
Berlin.
Steven to Berlin. And that's when stuff started to even add up even more. So so now when we've gone, basically what's happened, I'm telling him about astrology because I don't believe it. But he said something that made me definitely think it's real. He goes, how did the three wise men found Jesus? He said they looked at the stars. Then I was like, bro, that means these stars mean something.
Facts.
Even though they tell us not to look at it,
Mm.
it means something. Then also them times, like this was about 3.5 years ago. Yeah, as I said, 2023, 2024. So now these times I was looking about, all the different planets, transits, so on and so forth. And some of the stuff that's happening today in terms of people rebelling, wars,
Oh,
it was,
bro,
bro,
bro.
predicted, bro.
So just the caveat on that, like we're in a period right now of like massive revolution and like
Yeah,
rebellion, and it hasn't been like this since, if I'm not mistaken. Now, don't quote me. Maybe cut this part out. But it hasn't been like this since literally the Civil War, or like no, the Haitian Revolution.
yeah.
Since the Haitian
Haitian
Revolution.
Revolution or French Revolution,
Yeah,
whatever it
since
was.
well, it was around. Those were around
Same
literally two,
time.
3 years around the same
Yeah.
time. But it was around that time is the last time that like the skies were ever like this. So that's just to tell you that everything that's happening right now completely makes sense. And then what I wanted to say to what you were saying before is that people get it confused and misinterpret what
It happens.
they misinterpret like what astrology is, and they mix astrology with horoscopes. Now, horoscopes, I don't know what that is or where how they derive that, and like, you should do this, you should do that. It's different.
Sorry to interrupt you, but horoscopes is, I can get into that because horoscopes is done based on the sun sign, and the sun sign is everybody in 1 month,
Mm.
and that's extremely generic. And what is more good for horoscopes is your rising sign, because that is done based on the time of day that you are born, not the sun. The sun is everybody in that whole month. So if you go to look at a horoscope or some information for your rising sign, it'll be a bit more accurate. But either way, there's no point of looking in that too much.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Like, you could use it for information, but the thing is, so many people get stuck in. Okay, no, this is now you're more.
You're taking it literal. You're taking it like this is supposed to happen, and I think that simply because that's how we all kind of like started to know about it. That's what we assume, innit? But ultimately, it's more of like what you said is where you have your each and everyone's birth chart. Each of those things will tell you different aspects and different general kind of ideas about your life and what it means for you. It doesn't tell you exactly what to do and how to live and but it gives you a general consensus of the things that you need to pay attention to within your realm in your life and how you should maybe think about these things. And I think that that's, for me anyway, that's how I view it. And like for me, that's been a eye opener, because awareness is the beginning of everything.
Facts.
Do you know what I mean,
bro?
So as long as like I can be aware and from what I learned and how aware I've become, I'm like, wow, I've been misunderstanding and missing so many things.
The reason why,
and it's like if I had this or knew this like when I was 17, 18, you know,
the reason why I'm shaking my head is because I'm just thinking that for so long I felt like an alien in my own body, bro. Alien. You see, when we're even talking about religion, from young, I used to practice, but something deep in my spirit was like, something don't really feel right. I just used to do it because it's what I was told to do. Do you get what I'm saying? But inside, when I'll tell you this. My parents would tell me to go and pray. I'll put the prayer mat on the floor, but I won't lie, I wasn't praying. I'm not gonna lie, the prayer mat was just on the floor. I'll keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it real. But then as I've gotten older, and as I said, certain experiences, bro. We went to a mosque where I know some imam that is texting next man our age's girlfriend. Come on. And that's the man that's the leader of the congregation. And this is not, and you see me, I have smoke, not just for Islam, I hold smoke for every religion. Bro, even Christianity, and this is what I was saying about the rituals and energy. Bro, you're drinking the body and the blood of Jesus. And you don't think that's a ritual?
Do you know what? Yeah, my thing is, anybody that talks about rituals as if like it's a one-sided demonic paganist thing,
people don't understand.
I think that's very like deluded and a bit like just like,
you don't understand. We're participating in rituals and magic every single day,
bro. Blowing candles out
every single day.
You wish for something on your birthday,
bro. Like, even there's a reason why it's called spelling and curses.
Oh yeah.
There's so many things that people genuinely don't actually take the time to understand.
Talk in a positive way. Like the words they use is very
specific.
Yeah. You can't just use any words. Like, that's when I heard that, I'm like, oh, that's why I'm even interested in Rastafari. Because it's about plants.
No, the reason why I'm interested in those is not only that, bro. They're like me, bro. And I hate to say like me, but you see me, one thing, growing up in Ireland, you know, we grew up in Ireland, bro. I found it hard. The first few years I was there, I was with the white guys. I wasn't trying to be with the black guys. I sold out. I'll keep it a buck. I wasn't really trying to be with the man them like that. I was trying to be with the white guys. So when the white teams when the grey teams come true, you know, man, I had first preference. But then as I got older and I started to understand myself more, I started to realize that I started to take joy in myself, like Fuji music, Afro beats, even like I went to Nigeria for the first time end of 2024, bro. Probably one of the best experiences ever.
Yeah.
That is also another reason.
Can I
go ahead.
When you first landed there, what did it feel like?
Refreshing, bro. Like my dad came to pick me up. I'm just seeing everybody that looks like me from the airport went straight to go and get Suya, University of Suya, straight.
Just down the road.
Everybody is there fighting for Suya or more.
Yeah.
The feeling.
Nah, I think it's unmatched, bro. Being back home in Nigeria, because I had the same feeling. I went back in 23 for my sister's wedding, and like I'm not gonna lie, like it sounds silly, but like that was like a big thing for me. I feel like it was the first big like grown up shit that had happened in the yard. Like my sister's getting married and we're having the wedding in Nigeria, and I thought, why the hell are we having a wedding in Nigeria? I would have never thought that would be the thing. Do you know what I mean? So going there, having that, and then having that experience of being the brother to the bride and how everybody was, and bro, everybody came. I'm not gonna lie, I got angry so many times that day, bro. I was getting pissed off at people. But like, aside from that, like, that whole experience was like the most freeing and the most like belonging that I've ever felt up in my like 30 whatever years.
I went to Nigeria. Yeah, I was standing in I don't even know the name of this road. Ikorodu. I was in Ikorodu. I was on the one main road in Ikorodu, and I'm just seeing like people walking, and the way I'm just seeing people smile, yeah, even though they don't have much. That's when I was like, yo, no, something's different. As soon as I come back to London, bro, 30 minutes, Gatwick. I get off the plane, I get onto the train that takes me from Gatwick to King's Cross. I'm already seeing people screwing. Angry. Said, yeah, no, something. Bro,
there was a day when I was in Nigeria. I literally they were driving, I just literally, purposely stared out the window to see all the faces.
Bro,
everybody's working hard. Everybody's
still happy, bro.
Everybody is smiling,
bro.
Bro, I was riding one of those not Okada. What do they call them?
Marwa.
I was riding in one of the Marwas, and what's it called? I was literally just there, and literally what you lot are saying, we're just driving past like all these people. It was not too far from Ikorodu actually, but it was just like a bunch of like road shops, and I was just like, yo, this is beautiful. I got my phone out, bro. I just held it up. I started recording. I said like, yo, this is just. It feels good.
Resilience they have there. It makes me like when I went back and then I came back, I was like, sorry. It was like I haven't been working hard enough in my life because I saw people on the street every at 5 a.m. in the morning.
Serious grafting. You're not wrong.
Even people that don't have body parts missing and shit like that, they're still out grafting. I'm like, bro.
Nigeria know they carry last,
bro.
As King Charles said.
Wait, I'm not gonna lie. I went on that holiday. Don't get me wrong. I went out, bro. Man went out. I was partying. I even went to Ghana. But one of the main things that I wanted to get out of that trip and I managed to get out. I went to see the slave castles.
Oh, I never got there. I've never been to Ghana.
I went to see the slave castle in Cape Coast. I wanted to see that one, and I'm gonna go when I go back to Nigeria. I'm gonna see the one in Badagry, but I didn't too much party, too much enjoyment for Lagos. I managed to find time when I went to Ghana to go to the one in Ghana, and bro, hey, I might be able to show pictures, but what I saw basically, it's like a castle, slave castle. It's like a castle, but there's dungeons now for different sexes. Like you get the male dungeons, you get the female dungeons, and in the middle of the castle is a church. But they left peepholes in the dungeons for them to be able to see the church, and for them to, from the church, to be able to see the slaves. So me, as I said, bro, as much as I love religion and being good, I like to think about things logically. And I don't think somebody who enslaved me is going to give me the rules. Away from that, I also think if I was somebody who was in power, the first thing I'll do is I'll put religion to put fear in you, so you don't act out of
Please.
you behave yourself. Away from that, if I was someone in power, I'll put a religious monument, so you have to come in and bring money into my economy and keep paying my pocket every time, or otherwise you're gonna have the fear that you'll be punished. So there's just so many things that I started to realize that now, instead of you to, like, I don't think the God that created me has created me to be scared, to be fearful.
And you know what? Yeah, just before you land on that, that in itself, right? This whole idea of knowing or thinking you know or understand anything about God in order to even put it down on paper to then sell to somebody else, for me, that's blasphemous in a way. But like it's kind of contradictory, do you know what I mean? Because in you saying nobody understands how God thinks and God works in mysterious ways, you're also saying this is exactly what God thinks of what you're doing and how you're doing it. Do you know what I mean?
Stop.
So it's like, that alone for me is like when you as a person try to tell me what God is like, I can't hear that. I can't in my soul. I can't. It's not coming in, because it's like, how who are you? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, like that's the first and foremost. Like, you can't tell me about that.
I hate to say it, but it's made me look at people so much, like so much more differently. Now, when somebody's overly religious, I find it hard to really take them in, because I'm like, what's bothering you? No. It's for me, it's one or two things. It's either you're extremely unintelligent to where you have no longer connection with your brain to use, or you're an extremely bad person that you need the forgiveness of something else to make you feel good because you've done some bad stuff. Yeah, far away.
You guys grew up Muslim. I grew up Muslim as well.
Yeah.
My father's side is Muslim. My mother's side is Christian. But that was when I was a bit like 5 or something like that, and I just forgot that. And I went to my grandma's side. And growing up as a Christian is going to church and all that stuff. Anyways, it's like, cause me, I've always been like, it's not like I don't like church. I like the community when it's like nice, when everybody's having fun, when it's praying, praise and worship and all that. But when you look at the lessons you get from all this, like, oh, don't be envious. But then you look at all these people that come to church.
They're envious.
All this, like, you're coming to church to praise God, but yeah, you're coming as there's a competition, bro. There's jealousy. Bro. There's all this stuff that you read about, and
that is telling you not to do.
This is what made me baffled me. Is you go to church on Sunday, but Saturday you're out. After church, people are going back to what the fuck they were doing the day before already. Like, all that is just like, why are you
club on Saturday night, church Sunday
it's
morning?
The same thing with Islam.
Listen, as long as you repent, Abby.
What that gave me is basically I'm not saying, but I'm just saying, for me, what I got from it is, if you're a religious person, you're not willing to take the responsibility for what you've done.
Facts.
You're given the responsibility. You can say, "Oh, it's God's fault."
Facts.
You're not taking the responsibility.
Bro,
you're using religion as.
Hear me out.
I might sound crazy, yeah, but I know I've done some bad things, and the thing is that this is what people will call demons. Those demons still follow me, and the thing is, I'm one of them people where there's not much. The things that I've done, I will say with my chest, I've done that. Do you get me? Because that, like, for me. I'm not no holy guy. I know I've done some bad things, but then the thing is, that I dislike is the when people will say, "No, that wasn't me. It's the devil." It's like, take responsibility. Some people like to do things and say, "No, that weren't me." But when you do the good things, it's God. Like, come on. And the thing is, the reason why I'm saying this is because we're black people. I feel like us as black people. I'm gonna go back to Nigeria. I'm in Nigeria, every third or fourth building is a church. Bro, the tallest building in Lagos in Ikeja is the Redeem headquarters, bro.
Bro, I was just about to say that I had a conversation with someone that is a Christian. Like, bro, okay, the nicest place, because I was there, and then there was some competition. I looked over, they were like, I was like, what's that? They were like, that's a church. I'm like, I thought it was a stadium. It looked like a stadium, bro. It does not
look like a stadium.
Crazy.
I asked him this. I'm like, if everything that's going on in this world, everything that's going on in Nigeria itself, do you think a church should be like that? I'm not saying that like,
no, you're spitting.
Should it be? There's a lot of money being spent on a building when everything.
Bro, the guy has private jets, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's what. Never mind the building. He has jets, and the reason why I'm saying this is because, bro, look at Pastor Toby.
Yeah, I was just about to say we got Pastor Toby.
We got examples of this all over the gaff where people,
bro,
they will use religion for their own pockets, and that's why, as I said, for me, the more and more I got older, the more and more I could not subscribe to it, because for me it just seemed like a way, something that people use, as I said, when you do bad things now.
Bro,
God forgive me.
I had this encounter recently. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how comfortable you can share it, but we'll see after, sir. But this guy that I was supposed to work with, we were supposed to do some filming stuff together, some videos, and I'd been trying to work with this guy for ages now, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, we've been trying to work together for ages, but he's always just busy whenever I need help or whenever he's able to help, which I've never understood. And then at the same time, it's always like, oh, but like, I'm ready to help whenever. So cool. Anyways, finally get to this thing now. It's like, okay, cool, perfect time to actually get together on this shoot. It's a perfect shoot. We can both experiment, test, whatever, right? And I've sent him the treatment that I've written for this shoot. The guy gets back to me, and the shoot is about, like, it's a fashion brand for girls, and, well, unisex ones, but it's particularly a females collection, and we're looking at, like, exploring this type B girl is the idea concept. And I send him the treatment, and the guy gets back to me, and he's like, am I sure that the brand are okay and they will definitely want to go ahead with the lighting incense scene because of how it might look or come across for the brand and this and that and that. And I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, yeah, because, like, lighting incense and that could be, like, it's like witchcraft, isn't it? It's this he said something, I forget what he mentioned, this pagan religion thing or whatnot. And obviously he's just he was asking me if he thought the brand had an issue with that or how that might make them look. And I thought, bro, what? So to be fair, at that point I already knew that, yo, this ain't gonna be it. But we had a little back and forth, because I was like, bro, the brand's okay with it. It has nothing to do with witchcraft. Like, nobody's thinking it's that, and like, this is just the idea. And the guy's like, yeah, but obviously people are gonna read it like that because da da da. And I'm like, no, G, you are reading it like that, but that doesn't mean everybody else is gonna read it like that. And if you have a problem with this incense scene because of what you believe, and he's a very devoted Christian, is why I bring this up. Then that's fine. That's not a problem. We can just cut that out, and we'll we'll not cut it out. We just won't work on the shoot together, because that's the thing for this. And then, yeah, what annoyed me is that he kept saying it's the intention behind it. As long as the intention behind it isn't the witchcraft, because he has friends that light it and they just like the smell of it. Crazy. And I'm like, bro, I've literally said CIA, this is the idea of this. Why? CIA, so if I'm telling you that the intention is not this and you're still telling me, then you obviously have a problem with it. Are you being weird? So anyways, that didn't happen. And I was just like, I'm just going to stop. I don't think I want to work with you, like, in the future going forward, because that was just silly. That's weird. That was just so unnecessary. But I bring it up because with that particular person, I've had conversations in the past where I posted stuff on my story about, oh, the Christians are at it again, or some shit like that, and whatever it may be, and he'll pop up, or whenever I'm questioning religion or bringing up African spirituality, he'll pop up. And I
don't want anybody to think like I've got it out for Christians or bro. For me, geez, probably another 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine. How long are you guys gonna be to set up?
How long is it
Don't.
gonna be for you guys to set up? How long is it gonna be for you guys to set up? Oh, okay, okay.
What were we talking about?
Yeah, no, I was just saying. I was just telling a story about this guy. It's over a Christian guy. Incense. Yeah, lighting incense, being witchcraft.
No, I feel like for me, as I said, I think what I was talking about, I'm not going at any religion in particular. For me, it's just about shedding light onto how us as a people we've been so. I want to say like
Indoctrinated.
yeah.
No, that's exactly
The
what
job
it
is
bro.
psychological. They done a serious job on us psychologically.
So because when it was happening, they were chopping your hands off. They were watching. If you do not convert to this religion, we're gonna chop your hands off. And
Yeah.
it was happening
It's by fear.
with all of them. So if you are seeing a next man,
You're gonna believe
you're gonna do it, even though you didn't want to do it. Even the ones that got their hand chopped off, they were
Bro,
still doing it.
for me, yeah, bro, life for me is very spiritual. But I went to secondary school. I'm in the class. They're reading To Kill a Mockingbird, a story about a black guy raping, being falsely accused of raping a white girl. He didn't actually rape her, but they lynched him. They're reading nigger in the class, bro. I had to experience this. This is like real life humiliation ritual. Then we grew up in Clockley. Black bastard, nigger. Those travellers used to go to town. Man. We couldn't do nothing. We tried to do something. That man are pulling up with 15 of their family members. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we like, and this is why for me I say life is spiritual. So like that's all occurred. That made me feel, and this is why I said for me, if I found it so hard growing up to accept that I was black, that I was Nigerian. When I was in UK, I was born in the UK and didn't move to Ireland until I was 11. So it was a lot easier when I was living in the UK. When I moved to Ireland, different story. There's a very small minority of black people. But even with that small minority, we did actually have a good community. But the stuff that we experienced, even me moving into corporate.
Yeah, you were saying off camera that you're fighting with your job right now.
Oh God, humiliation ritual, and this is why for me, as I said, the job that these lot have done is so psychological that until you actually start to
bro, I'm making a film about it, about this indoctrination thing. But my main thing is trying to, what you're talking about is trying to make people aware and see, because if we're not careful, and this is what you're talking about as well, is that like when people see something, they're obviously gonna fear and then do it themselves. Bro. But you don't know that those people that fear and do it themselves then go on to scare other people into doing it themselves. And that's what's happening now. Right, so then it becomes a cycle.
I look at the state of the world right now. I watched this one guy. I need to get his name. He was talking about Cerberus and how the three Abrahamic religions are basically Cerberus. Cerberus is a three-headed dog where each one of the heads think is, I'm the main guy, but they're all on the same body and they're all trying to eat each other. That's like what I see with Judaism, Islam and Christianity. Each of them is saying, "No, this is my promised land. This is the truth. This is the real.
I'm the truth."
So everybody's arguing about the truth, and instead of you to just be good fucking people.
And this is what I was going to say earlier.
The problem is everybody's saying I'm the truth, but they're using the truth to go and kill innocent kids. They're using the truth to bomb each other. They're using the truth they're using the religion to cover up their actual political what they're trying to get for their pockets, greed. And that's why I said at the start of this, if I'm somebody in power, what am I going to do? I'm going to create a religion for you to fix up. When I tell you to jump, you ask me how high. You don't question me. Why? Because I'm the man. You're not the man.
And it's the questioning.
When you start to question, then you start to
because why is it always
coming out of the matrix?
Why is it always you can't question God, you shouldn't question God. Don't question it.
And it comes
you're
from
asking
school.
too many questions.
It comes from school.
Why
when you want
are
to piss, you
people
have
not
to
allowed
put up
to
your
ask
hand.
questions?
So much stuff is programmed into our brain that we don't even clock.
Yeah.
School's like a prison as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like a prison.
I got this, or I read this one saying that said they had schools for the kids, religion for the mothers, and prisons for the dads. Oh, even just speaking on this topic, Ice Cube was talking recently about how the same people who owned all the record labels
owned all the prisons.
Yeah. And this is what I'm saying.
Bro, you've heard of the story about early 1990s or 1980s or some shit. There was like a huge meeting that was ran in the States, in the music industry, the scene, and it was a bunch of celebrities, people that we listen to, niggas like Jay-Z, who else was in it? Yeah, it was somebody that was invited to one of them that was saying it. I forget who it was, but like we're talking about some of these big stars, and they've gone to this place, and the whole meeting was basically to talk about the future of music and how they would start propagating and promoting more gang violence and all of this stuff in the music to then influence people to then get them more in prisons, because they wanted to they bought a bunch of prisons and they needed to fill them up so that they could,
because when you have prisons, when you have prisons, you're able to now cheap labor. So now you have somebody who is working for you for less, probably a quarter of what the normal person. So either way, you're making more money. You get what I'm saying? But this indoctrination, bro, it goes so deep. And for me, as I said, I feel like it's time that we actually start having these conversations instead of ignoring it and pretending that it's not there.
Bro, even to the point of like how we view ourselves and how we view other people like us.
Oh, God damn it.
Do you know what I mean? Because one of the main things is imagery.
This year that I did, if I tried to do it 10 years ago, my mom told me she would disown me. And that comes from colonialism. They will tell you can't have your long hair.
Bro,
and you see, my mom, depending on what you believe. And
I just ended up having...
You were talking about Rastafaris. There's a reason why they grow their hair, because they believe it's like it's part of your
spiritual,
spirit.
There's strength in it.
Yes.
Your hair is...
It's an antenna. That's what a lot of people think.
These people
knew that.
Because remember, if you know back then, if you go to Nigeria, most of the schools, especially Nigeria, you have to cut your hair. You have to cut your hair no matter what team. You have to cut your hair. I'm like, why are you cutting your hair? Look,
bro.
Go back.
I had this whole conversation with my mom and my dad on two separate occasions, talking to them about, okay, but Dad, I've had my hair now for this is maybe a year ago. I've had them for 2-3 years now. Yeah. And you keep saying this thing, it's a phase, you're waiting for me to come and cut it. What if I don't cut it off? And then he started talking, it's not this. And I'm like, but you know that it's originally us.
Jump to tell you
before what, colonization.
You know what it is? The spell, I hate to say it, it's done, they've done the... Bro, I tried to talk to my parents here, but I've realized, bro...
Oh yeah, I did that long time ago.
There's only so much I can try to chat to them. These lot, I hate to say it, they're lost.
There was a time they were talking... Because I used to relax my hair.
And that's part of the Irish thing. I did that one.
So they told the teacher and the pastor like, my hair and stuff. I had to cut my hair. I said something and they told me to shut up. I go, but Jesus had long hair. They looked at me like,
oh, his hair was different though.
His hair was different. We're different people. I'm like,
his hair was white.
But he had long hair, no? Really not? Yeah. So why didn't I just use that? And they're like, oh, sure, you can't say that. I'm like,
yeah,
bro, you can't say anything.
Once you start to question it, then you're evil.
You're
not
Satan has taken over you.
Bro,
Because why should you question what God
Why?
has written? But you
Bro,
are the one telling
and
me
that's
not
the
God.
thing. That's the problem. People say God, bro, and I hate to say this. I'm gonna get real. It might listen. You guys might cancel me, but I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it real. I've never met Mo. I've never met Mo. I've never met Jesus. I don't know them guys.
Oh yeah,
man, don't know them, man. That's just somebody that I've read about in a book. That, you know, even if them man existed, there's no way or nobody would know, because the furthest I can go back is about 100 years. Apart from that, everybody else for me is fiction. I don't know anybody. I'm keeping it real. Unless I physically met them, and this is my problem with a lot of people. A lot of people will vouch and go to the ends of the earth for things that they have not inherently experienced themselves. And one thing that I learned on my journey of deconstruction is I can't do that anymore. I can't say if the world is a globe or if it's flat. I've not gone around it to say. Do you get what I'm saying? So now I try to only speak on stuff that I actually know. And the thing is, the things that I actually know is also based on my perspective. And that's what a lot of people need to understand. So there's so many people who will say, no, this is... Because I had a friend who called me recently. He was quoting Bible scripture saying that there's going to be grasshoppers, big, huge grasshoppers in the sky, helicopters. And they're afraid. And that's just, for me, all that is astrology. Someone knew about this technology, but obviously didn't have the way to say this is what's going to be happening. Now you're seeing it and you, oh my God. Oh!
Do you watch anime?
No, I need to. I've watched only Attack on Titan.
There's this anime, Attack on Titan as well. When everybody first found out that they were in a war, like the old Titan,
bro.
Do you know how that?
Bro, the insanity of it. That's religion. That's religion, bro. You see that island. What's it called? Paradise. Where they're on before they found out. That's religion, bro. That's people who are in religion are in that circle. Because until you get to the shore and you see that there's an ocean beyond where you are, you will never believe anybody telling you that there's an ocean. Do you know what I mean?
Before I said that, I use that.
Sorry, yeah, but go on.
There's this anime, Plunderer. I've never seen it.
I think I know the one you're talking about. Yeah, I never finished it.
It's kind of like the same concept. Like, they think this is the world. We're back to the Stone Age now. They think that's it. So they were complaining, oh, monster, the dragon, this is what you're saying. They were like, oh, dragon. And we were like, oh, dragon. And then because we are watching it, I'm watching it anyways. So I know that's a helicopter. That's a drone. But to them back in the Stone Age,
it's a dragon.
That is a dragon. That's the devil.
That's the monster. That's why, if you look at the Bible verse, it will say these things will be spitting fire. It's a helicopter.
But they didn't know that. But the person that the plunderer evil will wake him like, oh, I know this. These are weapons from. So basically, someone wants to do something, destroy they do something to the world where it's like you have to go into the sky. They're living in the sky basically, but they think the helicopter is coming from the demon realm where they're in the sky. The helicopter is just going past through the atmosphere and going through their own dimension. It's not a different dimension, but the way it looks like it's like going through a bubble and then you're out in a different bubble. And now it's like, but to the people that know, that's a helicopter, but they think it's a dragon because I don't blame them. It makes a noise. It makes a loud noise, and it's throwing bare bombs everywhere. That sounds like a dragon spitting fire. That's a dragon thing there.
And this is what you said about them scaring other people, because he's called me and he's told me this, and the only thing he's achieved is fear mongering. And for me, I'm not gonna lie, I'm even at a stage now that anybody who fear mongers, I'm sorry to say, you're a prick. Because what you need to be doing in times like this, where we're seeing kids getting murdered, you should be bringing light. Try entertain people. Try make people happy. If not, then bring knowledge. Not make people. The world is ending. What are you doing to stop it from ending? Except from saying it's going to fucking end.
Oh no! Yeah, repent.
Sorry,
he's telling you to repent.
That's another one.
Like,
bro, how is the lion not yamming everybody in the boat, bro? Everybody is on a wooden boat.
God has told them to behave.
Bro, because when you actually deep it makes no sense. But people just take it. You see me, and that's why I'm happy that I traveled. Because not only that I traveled, but I have an open mind. Because I used to think, bro, how is the Buddha, the Buddhist, and his way of life, is working for him? The Hindu and his or her way of life is working for him. Same thing with the Muslim and the Christian. Some of them, their way of life. Bro. So that means there's no truth. It's just and this is why for me, life is more spiritual than it is religious.
Consider this, yeah. Life is, like you said, life is completely spiritual, right? And as human beings,
we say that, but so many people won't even understand what we mean by that.
Bro, that's for them to go and do the research. They'll figure it out. But for the sake of what I'm saying, let's just assume you understand that life is spiritual, right? In some way, shape, or form, as humans, for some reason, I'm not going to pretend to know, but for some reason, we have a desire to search, right? Is to search for either truth, either belonging, either something greater.
Can I say something?
Or purpose even, sorry, yeah, go on.
We, maybe me and you, but you can't say we, everybody. Because there's...
No, hear me out. I know what I'm going to say, it makes sense still, because I do think everybody searches.
Huh, seriously?
Right? You're right. Yeah, fell out.
Not my own.
Because, everybody searches. Now, what you're saying is more of an active thing, like a conscious awareness of searching. Mm-hmm. But what I mean is subconsciously, we all do to a certain extent, whether we know it or not, or whether we know what we're searching for or not. Now, in doing that, there's two simple ways to search and to find something. You can either do that externally or you can do that internally. You feel me? That is the only two ways of reaching for any form of enlightenment or whatever it is, because enlightenment is heaven, is where we all want to reach. So it's when you go externally, that's where religion comes into play. That's where God, this external being of nature, of so much power that you can't understand him, but you can write books about him. That's where God comes into play. But then when you go internally, that's where for me, it's more of that's where people like the Buddha comes in, right? Because that's what his teachings do. Go in, meditate. It's more of a personal thing. Only you can go on that journey, right? But also that's where for me a lot of like astrology comes into it. It's understanding you more than anything, but in the context of everything and everyone else.
Astrology for me gives you the key, because another thing, we were talking about work, and I'll get onto that because I haven't told you guys what I do. I don't even know what I do at this moment in time. But we're talking about work, and whilst I was at work, something happened. Even with this whole religion thing, past 3 years, it's like I've been on this kind of journey of understanding who I am. So because of that, I decided to go. One of my friends told me to go get an assessment, thinking maybe I could get some change as well. So I went to go get an assessment. I found out I'm ADHD. I think if this was 5-10 years ago, I would have felt like, fuck.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with me? But now I look at it as, that makes sense.
Bro.
No, seriously, bro. It makes sense. Because I used to feel like an alien. Like there's so many things I would want to do, but I hold myself back. Or so many things I want to say, or so many things that I would notice that it's not right, and I'm just holding myself back. But then I'm starting to realize that that's just me, and it's okay for me to be me, for me to be different.
I think I'm still accepting
that. I can even go into astrology. The astrology research shows that the two main signs that exhibit ADHD behaviors are Gemini and Sagittarius. I know you're a Gemini son. I know,
bro. I was just about to say, yeah. I haven't had medical diagnosis or confirmation of ADHD, but there's not been a single person that's met me and not assumed that I have it.
I know,
but also I did actually try to get tested one time, but I stopped halfway because the woman kept saying, "I think you might have Asperger's." And I said, what? Bro, said I'm autistic. Bro, I said, what?
I think I've got the tizzy as well.
Bro, from when she said that, I said, nah, you don't get what I'm saying, bro. You don't understand me. I'm not that.
See if you can get some, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna see if we can get something else.
Bro. So from when she said that, I said, nah, I'm not autistic, am I?
They get whips, bro.
That's
What are you
crazy.
talking about?
That's crazy. So yeah, I'm still yet to do it, but like I think that's why I said I'm still fighting. I'm still fighting that autistic charge.
I'm embracing it because I've looked at my parents, bro, and certain things that they do, bro, this is neurodivergence,
bro.
Here, bro.
This is why,
there's no
bro. My dad, looking at my dad, yeah, it's possible,
bro.
It's possible.
For me, one thing I've also realized is that it's okay. I feel like, bro, one thing that, and this is my problem with religion and society nowadays, there's no room for individuality.
Oh yeah,
everybody's supposed to be the same. Everybody dresses the same. Everybody tries to do the same things. You know, there's not much room for uniqueness. And I feel like the next generation or next few years, the people who really decide to, you know, go in a lane of their own and like, this is me, I feel like those are the people who are going to get rewarded.
Oh, 100%.
Feel like
they've always been the people that get rewarded.
For a long time, we've seen a lot of sheep, especially nowadays. I didn't want to be this person in front of a camera, I'll be honest. But I've seen so many foolish people in front of the camera telling
absolute
dumbness, and I'm like, no. Someone has to come and, you know, actually, you know, say something that is making sense. But yeah, when it comes to work, bro, I was at work. Same thing. All of this happened. I got this ADHD diagnosis whilst I was off work sick. I was off work sick because my nervous system couldn't hack it. I'm in work. Somebody behind me says, I don't believe in Black Lives Matter. Oh, God. He says I don't believe in Black Lives Matter. Why? Because I believe in all lives matter. Right. So now, the next day, he's come to apologize to me.
At least you don't apologize.
I goes, why did you say that? He goes, I believe in one love. Right. So you might be a bit racist. That's okay. As I said, I grew up in Ireland. I got called black bastard, nigger, a racist. I didn't ever stop me in my life. But then what hurt me is his manager. His manager came to ask me, Sadiq, what do you think about
what he said?
I'm gonna say his name, Andy. Should come and meet me. What do you think about Andy's apology?
What do you want me to say?
I goes, bro, well, man, I'm desensitized. You know, I grew up in Ireland. Goes, yeah, it's the same with me and being gay. Bro, guys,
that's the one. Get the fuck out my face, bro.
That's the one that had
get the fuck out my face, bro.
Bro, I was like, no. I couldn't bug out because I was in the office. And this is what I'm saying. This is when I clocked. All of this made me realize I'm selling my soul. I couldn't bug out. Why? Because I didn't want my peas to be affected.